Hey y'all, Sherry G. Welcome to the channel. So look, on this past Saturday, we got to see a whole lot of the Fletchers. Boy, I tell you, I love the Fletchers. To me, they're a great example of a power couple, not a perfect couple. A couple who has gone through some things and overcome, a couple who makes time for each other, makes time for family, has thriving businesses, and are well established in the community. So in the first scene that we saw them in on Saturday, they're actually out on date night. And here we learned that they both love music and they love to dance. And Nell actually stated that that was her love language. I love seeing them on the dance floor and absolutely love their energy together. In that same scene, Nell mentioned to Fletch that she had a conversation with Martell, and she told him that he got loud and disrespectful with her, when she was telling him that she was going to be attending Mel's ceremony. I do love how Fletch said he was going to talk with Martell, not only just to check him, but to find out, what was going on with him and where his head was at. Now, the one thing that I didn't like in this conversation was the way Nell told the story to Martell. I'm sorry, to Fletch. She told him that Martell asked her about the name change ceremony, but she was the one who brought it up. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm loving the Fletchers and I'm loving Nell. She just needs to remember what she said to who. If she's going to be carrying bones, we need her to carry them correctly. So anyway, y'all, let me go ahead, drop my disclaimer, and I'm going to get into my commentary. Hang tight.
How you like that? You gon' like that? Da 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 da. You like that? Bada bing, bada boom, boom, boom. How you like that? Da 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 da. Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that? Now, look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. Look at you, now look at me. How you like that?
Okay, y'all, so I'm going to get into my commentary. Now, keep in mind that the views I express is just my opinion and everything is alleged. Now, I do want to talk about the Fletcher's family dinner, but before I get there, I want to go back and revisit the scene at, what was it called, Renaissance? The place, the date night. Let's go back there for a minute because there was something else that Nell said that kind of took me back and I got in my feelings a little because she said it more than once. And again, keep in mind, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So when she was talking to Fletcher, she went on to just, tell him about her conversation with Martell and what he was upset about. And she actually said that he, kept telling her or was telling her about Mel's infidelities. And again, y'all, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And she has said it that way more than once. So even when she was talking to Melody at the name change celebration, she told her that Martell was bringing up your infidelities. So she was putting it out there and stating it as if there was truth to it. Y'all, it really irked me because here's the thing. Mel had already stated that when they were on break, when they were separated, that she had a little thing. But her infidelities, making it plural, to me, you're feeding into the narrative by expressing it the way Nell did. You're feeding it into the narrative and making it true. And by this point in time, it's just a dead subject. Just let it go. But again, it kind of irked me the way she put it because Nell also stated to Martell that she hadn't heard anything. She hadn't heard anything about that. And y'all know that Huntsville is small, and the Fletchers and the then Holtz, they were connected to some of the same people. So if there was any truth to the situation, she certainly would have heard about it. So anyway, that's just one of the observations I made, and one of the things that just kind of got under my skin with Miss Nell. Anyway, y'all, moving on to the Fletcher's family dinner. So we find out a lot about the Fletchers in this particular episode, right? So we find out that they each came into their marriage with a child. Then they had 2 children together. And also there's Nell's niece, Kiki, who she partially raised. Not only did she raise her, but later on in life, Kiki went to work for Nell at the daycare. Nell had to terminate her. After she terminated her, Kiki found a job somewhere else, and then she got terminated from that job because she didn't have childcare. Make it make sense, y'all. That kind of just blew my mind. I'm like, okay, so you're having trouble with childcare. So, but your aunt owns a daycare center. So I don't know what the issue is there. Maybe she lives too far away to get to Nell's daycare. I really don't know. Maybe it was an ego thing, a pride. She just didn't want to talk to her about it and let her know. She just kind of wanted to figure it out on her own. I have no idea because they didn't really expound on it that much. We also find out in this same episode that Chris Jr. went to jail, and the parents bailed him out. So Nell and Fletcher bailed him out at the tune of almost $6,000. They also have his dogs in their possession, which they took care of. The dogs got sick and they had to foot like $3,800 for a vet bill, and they're waiting for the son to pay them back before they release the dogs back over to his care. Also, we find out that Nell is frustrated, right? She says that she's frustrated. She's tired of being the one that does everything, the one that fixes everything. She's over helping them all financially. And y'all, that's understandable for sure. Like, her frustration is understood because there are many women who can relate to being the one, right? Like being the backbone, being the one that fixes everything and does everything and overextends herself for her family. One of the things that came out was that the children feel that Chris listens to them more so than Nell does. And when they did a little outtake with Chris and Nell talking, and Chris stated that Nell seems to be judgmental. And according to Nell, that's how mothers are. I beg to differ. I mean, dads can be judgmental too. But anyway, I read a comment like under the clip. And under the clip, the comment said that the children probably go to Chris because he shoves things under the rug. And I don't see it that way, y'all. I think he has a different approach, mind you. I feel like his overall mannerism is much calmer, and so that would render him the one that is much more approachable. That's how I see it. So, y'all, let's take a look at the clip, and then I'm going to come back and we can break this scene down a little bit more.
Since I fired you, are you working?
Yep.
Don't lie.
I'm not lying.
You got a job.
Yes.
I heard you didn't have no job.
No, I do have a job. I have a job. I got fired. I lost my job. And then I got another job.
Why'd you lose your job?
Because I didn't have proper child care.
So you got proper child care now?
I do now.
Why'd you feel the need to tell your Uncle Chris but not tell me?
He's cool.
So what am I?
I was going to tell you today, actually. But I wanted to fix the problem, too, before I came to you because I really didn't want to hear your mouth.
So you don't hear my mouth anyway. I'm the one helping you. I felt like you should have came to me. I should have known from you instead of having to hear it from him.
I just really didn't know how to tell you for real.
I accept that, I guess. I accept all the minute y'all do. And I'm always the last one to find out.
It's because of the way you react to stuff.
You know what? Yeah, let's sit down, because I want to know. I really want to know how all y'all feel. I do feel like our kids favor their dad more than they do me.
I think the children probably come to me because they feel like maybe their mom kind of jumps the gun a little bit, and they just feel like they can tell me how they feel before I take action.
Well, what is it more like you don't prejudge them, and I do? That's the part of being a mom versus to being a dad.
So you say?
Yes, so I say, and that's the way I really feel about it.
Okay.
Every one of y'all have y'all own issues. Every one of y'all have something. The same way I come through for y'all, y'all need to come through for each other. Period. I done cooked this damn food for y'all. Let's air it out. What I want to hear about is your job. Is you gonna keep that?
First of all, you sit here trying to act like I don't hold a job. Like I can't hold a job. You can be a bit dramatic sometimes. You to go 0 to 100.
You'll be damn dramatic too if you in overload of always having to do every damn thing. But then y'all run to your dad or daddy, uncle, what you call him?
Uncle Daddy.
Uncle Daddy.
I don't really talk to anybody, so.
I wouldn't say half of the time I don't come to dad for everything, like feelings wise and nothing like that. I ain't just personally come to him and try to ignore you. If that's what you thinking.
You don't call me.
It just sound like that.
You used to call me like every other day.
True.
And you're not doing that no more because
Of the dog. Took my dog.
Took. Saved. Wrong word.
Y'all keep saying saved. That's because I wasn't there. I got locked up.
Chris Jr. recently went to jail, and we ended up having to go and get his dogs, taking them to the vet. He ended up with a $3,800 bill from the veterinarian. And then, of course, that's our child, and we ended up having to bail him out, and there was another $6,000 to bail him out.
at this point, he owes us a lot of money, and he's not going to be getting those dogs back until he pays that money.
I want my dog back.
You got locked up. Then you didn't even pay me for that. Then you tell me you want your damn dogs back.
Why would I pay you back if you're going to keep the dog?
You don't deserve the dogs
Why
back.
I didn't pay back? Because I feel like that's a trade for a trade.
Damn it, $6,000 a trade for the dog?
Dog, $3,500.
I paid $3,800 for his medicine, and then $6,000.
You did that on the choice. I didn't do that.
There ain't no damn trade for no trade.
If you gonna keep the dogs, why would I pay you back?
Let's just shut the hell up.
Oh
How you feel like that's a trade for a trade?
All right, y'all. The Fletchers are out, okay? Like that was a scene, okay? That was a scene. And I actually heard someone saying that they think it was fake and drummed up for television. I don't believe that at all, because me sitting and looking at this, like this is my third time looking at it, Nell is very frustrated. And in my opinion, it can be seen, heard, and felt during this scene. I totally don't believe that this was made up for television. The emotions from the entire family, I feel that they were very real. That's my opinion. Now, I was surprised hearing how freely the kids expressed themselves, their choice of words. But you know what? When I sat back and looked at Nell and Chris, let me just step out on a limb and say this. I think this is how they do, y'all. No one seemed to be shook by it at all. And no one addressed it at all, like the way they were talking. So, I don't know. Yeah, it seems like this is how they do. This is how they communicate. One of the things that came out was that Chris, like I said, he actually listens to the kids, while Nell seems a little bit more judgmental. I can personally understand how that would make it hard to want to go to someone when you have an issue or when you're facing a crossroads in your life. Because honestly, I experienced that growing up myself. So I didn't feel comfortable going to either one of my parents, unfortunately, when I was a younger person. When there were challenges that I was facing in my life, decisions that I needed to make, things that I needed to overcome, things that I was facing, because I did not want to endure the judgment that I felt was going to come. And not knowing how to express myself to my parents made it really hard. So I kept a lot of things in. I heard one of the daughters at the table say that she doesn't talk to anybody. Like, she just kind of keeps it all to herself. And that's how I am, or how I was. I've learned to now express myself, but that's how I was. Like, I would just hold it in and just kind of work through it. So if there was anything that I was facing, a challenge, a problem, etc., that my parents wouldn't know anything until it was done and over with. So I get the frustration on both parts. I get the frustration that Nell is facing, when she's the one fixing everything and you have these grown adult children coming to you. I get the frustration of the kids too. I also feel like if it were my kids, I don't know if I would necessarily, well, I'm just going to say I wouldn't like them communicating the way that these children did. But again, when I stand back and I look at everything and I observe the way the parents reacted, there really wasn't a reaction that I saw. Now, maybe I missed it. Y'all get down in the comment section and let me know. But I really didn't see it. So overall, guys, I am really, really liking this couple, the Fletchers. I'm looking forward to hearing more from them. And, I'm hoping that whatever the underlying issues are, that they are able to work, through it, because it seems like, in my opinion, there's something really real going on here. And it seems like this family tends to expound a lot of energy by pointing fingers at each other. And when that happens, the ability to hear each other and see the other person's through the other person's lenses is lost in a sea of all of those emotions. So it would be really nice to actually see them connect with someone who could help redirect all of that energy and use it to communicate effectively, so that they could get to the root cause of whatever the issues are and come up with a resolution. Again, I really like them, and I'm so glad that they're here. I feel that this couple is overall, this family is overall a great addition to the show. They're more open and authentic than either one of the Scotts, in my opinion. The Whitlows included. They're more open and honest, more authentic than the Whitlows have been also, and a whole lot more interesting than the Scotts and the Whitlows. As a matter of fact, Carlos actually did a post, and in a post he said that, he has been wanting the Whitlows, or they, production and himself, wanting the Fletchers, on the show for years. But Nell was giving some pushback. Well, I'm glad that Nell decided to come on board and join the Love and Marriage Huntsville crew. So y'all, that is all I have for you in this video. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, because I will be back. Until then, ciao.
How you like that?